Good morning. Today we will be discussing how to enter in a horoscope for the upcoming students of astrology and those who are interested in learning astrology. Basically, astrology is a very great science and you can go to any depths provided you have the correct techniques to analyze any question or any birth chart. So today I will be sharing my experience, for analyzing a birth chart. 99.9% astrologers, when they depend upon the birth chart is seldom correct, first of all, because even if the time of birth changes by 2-3 minutes, it can change the Varga charts, and once it changes the Varga chart, the whole prediction goes haywire. Now, say for example, the Lagna is at 3 degrees and 21 minutes. So then it will go to second Navamsh. But if it is 3:19, it will remain in the same Navamsh. So the Navamsha would change, and if the Navamsha changed, the predictions for the marriage would change. So similarly, for D10, the Dashmansha, when the Lagna changes, so many planets will change. See, planets in Dashmansha in the Kendra are very beneficial. Maybe they are malefic or benefics. But if they go in the Trik Bhavas, they do not give good results. But in the case when degrees, the Shmansha is 30 divided by 10 is 3 degrees. Now if a Lagna is 2 degrees and 57 minutes or Lagna is 3 degrees and 10 minutes, it will change the Dashmansha Lagna. So it is very critical, and to arrive at the correct birth details is a lot of pains are required. I don't say that you cannot reach, but a lot of pains are required, and my experience is that you cannot reach the exact birth details. You may reach about 90%, but you cannot reach 100%. So today we are discussing basically how to enter in a horoscope. 99.9% astrologers, when you go to an astrologer, they only jump at the birth chart. I will share my experience. Every year in Pragati Madhan, New Delhi, there is NAKSHATRA exhibition, and there are dozens of astrologers. Maybe there are 50-60 astrologers who open their stalls and are there to cater to the services of the QUERIST. Now, I happened to go in 2012 when I was in Bharati Vidya Bhavan completing my research studies. So I wanted to know what is their technique, what all these people, majority of the people, what technique they use. So I went there as a layman and I said, can you tell me what is happening in my life and what is the thing which is bothering me most? So even when I gave my birth details are accurate. They were not able to predict anything. They said, sir, you tell us what is your problem. I said, why should I tell my problem? You have to tell what is the problem with me. So they were all the people. I told them that I will pay double their professional fee if they are able to tell me the method and my correct predictions. But none of them could do it. I asked them, how do you confirm that the birth chart is correct? Somebody says he is born at 7:30, 7:30 baje. Somebody says he is born at 6:30. It cannot be possible. Either it is 6:25 626, 627, 628, 630, 631, 632, like that. And but the birth chart, the Varga chart would change. So up till now, for the last 5 or 7 years, astrology has made a dent in the minds of the people. If not 100%, but definitely people have started believing in astrology. And if you look back 30 years back, people were not very particular about noting the exact time of birth. But some parents were very particular and they noted the correct time of birth, and their predictions could be correct. But those people who have not noted the times, then birth chart will be just like grouping in the dark. So I was wondering, what is the best method? All the people, all the astrologers said we go to the Lagna Lord, where is the Lagna Lord placed, and where is the if the question is related to marriage, we will go to 7th house, and then the running dasha and all that, blah blah blah. I said logically, none of them was logical, none of them had any research capability, and none of them was properly educated. I'm sorry to say this, but this is my experience, what I faced. I went there 2012, 2013, 2014, I went there and I found the same experience. You see, when a woman goes on a family way, the soul enters the horoscope from the 5th house. The horoscope is already made. In fact, we don't know. But when the female goes on a family way, the soul enters from the 5th house. The development takes in the 4th house, and when the soul reaches the ascendant, the Lagna, it takes the physical entity. And then the 10th house is not activated. The baby which is born is not able to do any karma. It cannot speak, it cannot work. So the caretaker looks after the baby. He educates the baby. He makes sure that he gets good education. He makes sure that he gets a good job. But obviously, and then the soul reaches the 10th house, when education, job and marriage take place. And after performing all the karmas, the soul exits from the 9th house. So it is just like a sine curve from 5th house, 4th house, Lagna, 10th house, 9th house. And if you look at this chart, I have given it in my article, that it is just like life is just like a pendulum of watch, if as per astrology. The fulcrum is Lagna, the pendulum connects the 7th house. When the pendulum stops, the Lagna is connected to the 7th house, which is Marga. And pendulum keeps on touching the 5th house, 7th house, 9th house and connected to Lagna. So which are the important houses? First of all, the 5th house, from where the Atma enters, where the soul enters. It is just like the door of the castle. How is the door of the castle? So the 5th house is most important, because it also shows our previous Janma karma. Then the 4th house, then it goes to Lagna, then it goes to 10th house, and then it exits from the 9th house. Now, the houses which are important as per the pendulum of watch is 5th house, Lagna, 7th house, 9th house. Because the pendulum keeps on touching all these houses, Lagna, 5th house, 7th house, 9th house. When it stops, the Lagna is connected to 7th house, the Marga, the person dies. So what is 5th house? 5th house is 9th from 9th. What is 9th house? 5th from 5th. What is 7th house? 4th from 4th and 10th from 10th. And what is Lagna? it is Lagna from Lagna. It is the same house. And if you see what is 7th house from 7th house, it is the Lagna. So the houses which are most important are 5th house, Lagna, 7th house and 9th house primarily. So when we go in the depth, when we see the Kendras and the Trikonas, so if a person has very good planets in the Lagna, 5th house, 7th house, 9th house, primarily his life will be very good. Right? And if the Dasha is also of those planets, he'll be a king. But if they are adverse planets placed in Lagna, 5th house, 7th house, 9th house and connected to 6 and 12, then the life will not be good. You will be facing a lot of hassles. So, the most important parameters for entering in a horoscope are the Garbhashishta, the Mahadasha and Antardasha at birth. They are the primary parameters which give you everything and which take away everything. So whatever supposing career has to be seen from Garbhashishta. I have not seen a single astrologer who has analyzed the profession, marriage or any aspect of life from Garbhashishta. Not even a single astrologer. Because PRASHNA does not mention all this. And I was fortunate. This was taught to me by my guru, my Nadi principles, Agastya Nadi, that the Mahadasha lords, Dasha, Mahadasha and Antardasha lords at birth are the most important, along with the 5th house, Lagna, 7th house, 9th house. Because they are the Sukshma Sthan of the Kendras and Trikonas. So this is all just I wanted to tell you that if you go in a logical way, right from when the soul enters from the 5th house, your analysis will be excellent. If the 5th house is bad primarily and connected to the 10th house, 5th house connected to 10th house is very good. Because whatever karmas you have done in the previous Janma karma, they will be connected to your present karma. Right? But if your karmas are bad, then you will face troubles. And if there is a debilitated planet, combust planet, the Lord of 5th house is in planetary war, it is retrograde, fallen, then the life is miserable. Because the door of the castle is not good. If the door of the castle is good, the castle will definitely be good. So if your previous Janma karma are good, so you will get the results. If 5th house is connected to 10th house in this Janma and the Dasha is also in operation, then you get 10 by 10. So I will just read out. This is with reference to my visit to Nakshatra exhibition held every year in February month in Pragati Maidan, New Delhi. Every year dozens of astrologers exhibit their stall. I have talked about it. They said, I asked them, how do you confirm the birth details? They said, we will get all details from you, like when you got married, when you got the first job and the relevant questions, etc. I told them, everything you are asking from me, then what is the use of coming to you? They had no answer. I told them I am an astrologer and want to know your techniques, how you predict. They said birth chart is the only tool. Whereas I use 7 methods. I will elaborate it at the end of my video. So they also replied, we see the Lagna and Lagna Lord. They jump at the Lagna and Lagna Lord and the running Dasha and the concerned Bhava. Not a single astrologer was research oriented or logical. All were not properly educated. Please, sorry for saying this. And followed the same rule of jumping to predictions using the 2 parameters. Lagna Lord and Dasha running. All the astrologer was using PRASHNA techniques. My guru had taught Nadi astrology, as I have already told you. So we have talked. This is a chart. Well, you see, I am unable to show you this chart. Well, it is on the description. In description box, you can go to my website and you can see this chart. So we have already talked about this. So, and in case there is no horoscope, deep study is done of the Garbhashishta planets in the Rashi, Navamsha, Dreshkun and Dwadamsha. See, Rashi chart and Navamsha chart. Navamsha is the fine tune of the Lagna. So where the planet goes as per Rashi, Tula, Navamsha, we have to see. And what is the strength in Navamsha? If a planet is debilitated in D1 and exalted in D9, it may initially give troubles, but in the long run it will give good results. So likewise, vice versa. If the planet is exalted in D1, debilitated in D9, finally the results will not be good. So, but we have to see according to the Varga charts. It may not be bad for it may be bad for the marriage, but it may be good for the career. But where it is, whether it's debilitated or in Aquarius or in any other sign. So, in case there is no horoscope, authentic details, the PRASHNA chart tells you what is happening in the life of a person. Unfortunately, no astrologer used this technique in the NAKSHATRA exhibition. I use 7 modules to answer the question to the QUERIST. I use the direction what he is facing. Supposing Mars, I am just giving an example. Supposing I know the transit, Mars has changed sign on the 10th of May. So if a person comes to me on 8th or 11th or 12th of May, I make sure that it has something to do with Mars, something to do with red color, something to do with south direction. So if a person puts me a question, I can imagine he is facing the south direction because Mars is influencing him and that is why he is coming to me. So the question could be related to co-brothers, court case or a property. So likewise, we can, so direction is very important. The Arudam, where the Arudam is, it is very important. The Lagna, Arudha Lagna and Chatra Rashi, these 3 are most important in the PRASHNA chart. So I cannot elaborate all this, but I am just giving you the basic information. So likewise, I see the color of clothes. Now Saturn, the day Saturn and Mars are in opposition on 21st of July. If somebody is putting me a question, he will definitely be wearing black and red clothes. Very simple, right? So like that way, which planets are influencing him? If there is exchange between Moon and Mercury, there is an exchange of Moon and Mercury. So what question will be related to Moon and Mercury? More inquisitive, maybe regarding some stock market. So like that, just by what is happening in the transit, the PRASHNA gives you amazing results. What the birth chart cannot tell you. What is happening day to day, the birth chart cannot tell you. I am making a video today. Nobody can tell me, according with my horoscope, that I am making a video. I am talking about astrology. But PRASHNA chart will show. So the time when I have started, it will show. So, and the other is the color of clothes, then which nostril the astrologer is breathing, left nostril or right nostril. Then the number of betel leaves. You have to ask the number of betel leaves. Number more than 12 because we have 12 houses. So according to that. But sometimes if a person is coming physically also, I may also ask him to bring betel leaves more than 12. So according to the betel leaves, I'll make some predictions. So then direction we have done the color of clothes, we have done the betel leaves. Then from Panch Pakshi, what is the bird of his birth chart and what is the status of the birth chart when he is putting me the question. It has got 5 states, so according to that the prediction is made. Then according to Kota Chakra, you see, in olden times, any king, when he had to go for a war, he used to ask his religious advisor, and the religious advisor used to see according to Kota Chakra whether his court Swami and Kota Pal are safe. Then he used to attack, and if he is not, both are not safe, he would not attack. So like that, from Kota Chakra, then we have talked about breath. Then I use Ashtak Mangala Prashna by 108 seashells. There is a technique for it. Then I use Jamakul Prashna. I use Parashar Prashna. I use Prashna by B.V. Raman method. And then you see, the direction also tells you which planets are influencing. Now, supposing a person is facing east, so the natural planet as per Naisargic Chakra is Sun, and on a particular day which planet, so those 2 planets where they are placed, so they will also influence. So direction helps in giving you the Aurora, direction helps you giving the 2 planets which are influencing that particular direction, the natural and the Tatlika, whether they are friends, whether they are inimical to each other, and according to that their relations. Then what is happening to the astrologer? Is he in a happy state? When he is making the predictions, he gets a good news. It's very good for the querist. Omens. I have made so many videos for it. Irrespective, of the charts, I have made predictions just on the omens and they have proved spot on. It is communication with nature. What is happening with you at the time of when you are making predictions, or at the time when the querist puts a question to you. So, that way, there are about 10-12 methods by which I analyze just a prashna. Nobody, I have not seen even a single astrologer using all these techniques. South India, definitely, they may be using it, some techniques. But no, not a single astrologer in the northern India. So my thing is that if somebody wants to is interested in learning or getting some information, I mentioned my phone numbers. He is most welcome to talk to me, and if any curiosity or any question he has, or if he wants to get teaching from me or anything like that, he's most welcome. So friends, this is all I just wanted to share. Astrology is most amazing, and I tell you, 90% of my predictions which I use by communication of nature are spot on. I ask a question to nature, and believe it or not, it is not that only I can do, any person can do it. You have to relate yourself, you have to be very cautious. What is happening around you? What are the activities happening around you? When you are doing a particular task? I ask nature a question, and believe it or not, I get an answer. So on the basis of that, the predictions are phenomenal. And I tell you, if somebody starts doing it, he starts believing in God, that there is something, some powerful energy which is guiding you. So this is all, friends, I just wanted to share. Thank you very much for listening to me. Have a good day. Best of luck. God bless.